Assalamu alaikum. The story of Prophet Yusuf. Chapter 2. Yusuf and the Minister. Yusuf was still sitting at the bottom of the well, shivering and hungry. All of a sudden, he heard sounds in the distance. Yusuf wondered if his brothers had returned, or perhaps his father had come looking for him. What he was actually hearing was a caravan of travelers passing by on their way to Egypt. They spotted the well and decided it would be a good place to rest and refill their water supplies. They had a long journey ahead of them and would need water to drink and to feed their camels. One of the travelers was sent to collect water from the well. He took his rope and his bucket and made his way towards the well. The traveler lowered the rope into the well. Seeing the rope come down, Yusuf thought fast. He realized this might be his only chance to escape and return home to his father, so he quickly climbed into the bucket. The traveler started to pull up the bucket. Surely water could not be this heavy, he thought. When the bucket reached the top, the traveler was shocked to see Yusuf curled up inside. "Ah, good news! There's a boy here!" he exclaimed with excitement. He was now out of the well and could go home to his father. Unfortunately, the travelers had a different plan. It was their hope that when they arrived in Egypt, they would sell him as a slave and make some money. Before anyone could see, they quickly hid Yusuf in their caravan along with all their merchandise. The caravan then set off to continue its journey back to Egypt, taking Yusuf with them. Isn't this heartbreaking, the suffering of this young child? He did nothing wrong, yet he was treated as though he was worthless. But Allah reminds us in the Quran how He subhanahu wa ta'ala was watching and knew exactly what those travelers did. Soon the caravan arrived in Egypt, with Yusuf still hidden away from anyone who may have been searching for him. The travelers took their merchandise to the market to sell. Among that merchandise was Yusuf. The travelers wanted to sell him as quickly as possible so that nobody could ask them too many questions. A very important man happened to be in the market that day. He was one of the ministers that worked for the king and was very rich and powerful. He passed by the travelers who were selling Yusuf and was immediately drawn to him. The travelers wanted to sell Yusuf as quickly as possible, so they offered the minister a very cheap price, and he accepted. The minister took Yusuf home and told his wife Sulaykha to make sure Yusuf was comfortable. Even though he had bought Yusuf as a slave, the minister wanted to treat him as a son. And so it was, through the mercy of Allah, that Yusuf was now living comfortably in a home where he was treated well. Even though he was now in Egypt and far away from his father, he was safe in the care of a very important and kind man. Yusuf grew up in the house of the minister, and Allah blessed him with knowledge and wisdom. By growing up in this house, he saw and learned many things which would prove to help him in the future.